Disney has
So,
been manufactured.
um, so the video about the Popstar factory manufactured by Disney. I guess the analogy of the video is that hold on, bless me. So I guess the video will be talking about how Disney creates stars and they controls them or something like that. I don't know. Let's see.
Manufacturing pop stars for the past 20 years. They missed out on Britney Spears. They struck gold with Hilary Duff. We all know Miley, Selena, Demi, and the Jonas Brothers. And the most recent example is Olivia Rodrigo. There's no debate that Olivia Rodrigo is the biggest new artist of 2021. She
I
debuted
don't
her
know her.
first 3 singles
I
at
don't know
number
her to
one
be
on the
honest.
Billboard Hot 100, making her the first artist in history to do so. Then her very first album, Sour, debuted at number one and sold 300,000 copies first week. She peaked at 60
Bro, it's just
million.
like a cheat code. If you're a Disney puppet and then they take care of all of your stuff, then it's just easy. You just have to do what they gotta tell you to do. They write you music. They'll just tell you appear in certain places and say this and say that, and you're just number one.
Monthly listeners on Spotify this summer and amassed 4.3 billion Spotify streams.
Damn.
She is the newest addition of the Disney pop star roster that overpowered the early to mid 2000s. But when I found out that she was a former Disney Channel star, it got me thinking,
I've
man, we
never
haven't
know that.
seen somebody
I
this
don't, I don't
popular
know
come
her.
from
I don't
Disney
know
in
her.
a long time. The three biggest artists to start their careers on Disney are Justin Timberlake, Christina Aguilera, and Britney Spears. But Disney was not able to capitalize on their music careers like they were able to with Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato, and a few others. Which leads me to ask a bunch of different questions. Is Disney responsible for the success of these
Of
artists?
course,
How did Disney
of
produce
course.
as many pop stars as they did in the early 2000s? Where did they go? Disney
And hey, what happened? And I think, in my opinion, Disney controls a lot of these. Like they control a lot of these celebrities when they come up, and that's why you can find most of them go to the depression route hole, go to the oh uh, I'm going to find myself and this rule hole, because they I think they all have the same way, and I think that way brings them depression because they feel like they're controlled.
for the
That's
success
my
of
opinion.
these artists? How did Disney produce as many pop stars as they did in the early 2000s? Where did they go wrong in the 90s? Why haven't they produced any other big pop stars in the past 7-ish years? And have they figured out a new formula that's been spearheaded by Olivia Rodrigo? And there's more pop stars right around the corner? Or was it all just a coincidence? We all know there's no such thing as coincidences. Make sure you're drinking water while you're watching this video. Okay, so Disney is not the sole responsible party for these artists being successful. I mean, after all, they are super talented, and I don't want to take away from them or suggest that they're all just industry plants that have been handed their careers. But is it a stretch to say that Disney scouts talent for their shows that they could see having a career beyond the series that they are casting for? I mean, you can only roleplay as a teenager for so long. Eventually, they look too grown up and actually get too grown up. Plus, Disney has
Mm.
understood how valuable their brand is when it comes to music since the 1930s. They recognized the start of their record label, Disney Music Group, in 1956, and at the time it was called Disneyland Records. But even 20 years before they
Hey, I'm
started their
quiet
label,
because
they
I
still
wanna I
released
wanna
music
get what
that
what
accompanied
this
the
dude talking
films that
about.
they
I
were
want to get
putting
the
out.
history.
Instead, they would sell the rights of the music to other record labels at the time. The soundtracks to Snow White, Pinocchio, Bambi, and Dumbo are among the more famous ones that
So for me, I know this. I know this one, Snow White. I know this dude. I know Bambi, but I don't know this dude.
were sold to independent companies in order to obtain more funds for their films. Imagine a time where Disney needed more funds.
Hmm.
Once they realized how successful that music would go on to be, they decided to lay the framework for Disney Music Group in 1947. And every song produced by Disney since 1960 has been released under their own record label, Disney Music Group. Which brings me to my
Okay.
first question. Does Disney hire actors and actresses with the intentions of guiding their music careers beyond television? Let's fast forward to the early
Of
90s with a
course.
Disney Channel show
I,
called the
I I'm sure
all-new
they
Mickey
even
Mouse
control
Club.
a
So I
part of
should
it.
mention that they
The
started the
upcoming
Mickey
grow
Mouse Club in the
them growing up.
1950s and even had a version in the 70s, so this was the third attempt at making it work. But the 90s version was basically a Saturday Night Live type show, but for 13-year-olds. They would do skits
Hmm.
and live performances in front of a studio audience, and it would later be aired on television. In the 2 seasons from 1993 to 1994, they had Justin Timberlake, Christina Aguilera, and Britney Spears all on the same show. These
Yo,
were
Britney Spears. Okay,
the very
okay.
last two seasons of the show before it would be canceled. And you know the story, Justin, Christina, and Brittany all became superstars. In fact, they're the three most successful stars to ever come from
True.
Disney, and they were all on the same show at the same time.
Yeah, what happened to
So
Justin
whoever
Timberlake,
casted
bro?
that season had
I
a
don't listen to
crazy
that
eye
type of
for
music,
talent.
but
But these three never did
I've
an
never heard
official
from dude
music
from
release with
for a
Disney
long
Music
time
Group.
now.
So you have to be thinking that Disney feels like they missed a huge opportunity, right? I'm not going to say that this show made them famous, but Disney gave them the biggest resume booster of all time.
Of
Not to
course.
mention it was the first time all three of them had any real entertainment industry work. It was probably so easy for them to go on and get record deals or get any entertainment work when they had the Disney stamp of approval. And just 5 years after that show, all three of them were multi-platinum selling and Billboard charting artists. I find
You
this
know what's funny? I don't know who this woman is. I'm not even lying. I don't know this. I know him, Justin, as I said. I know her,
extremely
but I
interesting
don't know
because in
this dude.
1989, Disney
This woman.
started their imprint Hollywood Records, which was intended to release music outside of just soundtracks and movie songs to act more like a
So
traditional music label. So why didn't they try to just
videos
sign
too,
one of
huh?
those three? And in my opinion, this catastrophic miss is where Disney formulated a plan to develop a star on TV on the Disney Channel with the intention of turning them into a pop star. And in 2001, we got the instant hit show clocking in at 2 million viewers
Lizzie
per
McGuire.
episode. Lizzie McGuire.
Damn, 200. How much? Hold on.
Hit show clocking in at 2 million viewers per episode.
Damn, 2 million views per episode.
Lizzie
That's
McGuire,
too
who was
much,
played by
especially
none
at that
other
time.
than Hilary Duff. The premise of the show is a 13-year-old girl who faces the regular personal and social issues of teenage years. Lizzie tries to develop her own identity, but is also attracted to the idea of popularity at school and longs for social acceptance
Yeah,
among her
I've never
peers.
seen the
Throughout the
show.
show, she would express her love for singing and
I'm young,
performing, along
y'all.
with
I
literally
know.
wishing to be Britney Spears.
I like who I am, but I'd like to be Britney Spears.
Some pretty epic foreshadowing. In natural Disney fashion, they released the soundtrack to the show on August 13th, 2002, after the first season, and it would go platinum. But Hillary only performed the first song, Can't Wait, on the project, and that song was getting tons of radio play. I even found this old article where critics suggested that the Disney star was getting preferential treatment over Britney Spears. The roaring success of the TV show led to the Lizzie McGuire movie in 2003. In the movie, she's going on a school trip to Italy and finds out that she looks exactly like a famous Italian pop star and becomes
I've
a
never seen
doppelganger
this,
and ends up
man.
performing pop.
I've never even heard about
Sounds like
this.
a very familiar plot. Anyways, there were various musical performances throughout the film, but the song performed at the end became the most iconic. Hey now, this is what dreams. I didn't hit the note, I'm sorry.
I've
They
never
actually
heard about
released
it,
the
dude.
soundtrack before the movie, which was common Disney practice. That way the album was already in stores by the time people watch the movie, so they can leave their house and go buy it. Not like today where you can just upload to streaming services the same day. And because of the movie, the album went 1 times platinum. So they figured, let's do a whole Hilary Duff album. Just 3 months later, they released Hilary Duff's Metamorphosis album, which would go 3 times platinum.
Hey,
More
this
successful
girl is. This girl got a bag, man. How many projects she did, and how all of them were
than both of
platinum?
the soundtracks.
Damn.
She even did a 2-month-long tour. And just 2 months later, February 2004, Lizzie McGuire, the TV show, ends, and they did not start season 3 because Hillary was not happy with the money she was being offered. This started the downfall. July of 2004, they did A Cinderella Story,
Hey, you
which
got
was a
you,
huge success and has an
Good money other than no money, right?
estimated profit of about $75
I mean, it's not big money, but it's good money. You
And
know
I
what
kind
I'm
of
saying?
summarized all of this, but Lizzie McGuire was huge at this point. I mean, they were making hundreds of $1 million in merchandise. They had video games. They had probably perfume.
Hey, bro, ain't it funny how you can be forgotten in a matter of a year or so? How mighty big you are. Like, bro, time is so fascinating. Like, do y'all ever think about how 200, 300, 400 years ago, the famous people that were like famous are like we don't even know about them now. The ones that were famous between their like in their countries and in their cities, we just know a few of them. Like we could name a few people in history, and the other ones you name them, even if you study history and you name them, we won't know or recognize or know the stuff that they did. Ain't that fascinating, bro? Time waits on nobody, man. And time also like if your time passes, it'll be like, and you'll be forgotten. Even not only forgotten, also if you did something that was so great, it will be looked at as good after years, because nobody witnessed what you did. even if it's recorded, even if it was videotaped or any of that.
Everything surrounding Hilary Duff.
Can I give an
was a
example of
hit,
that?
and she was the Disney
Yeah.
star.
And a quick example, you know, for example, it's way out of topic, but for example, Dirk Nowitzki, the run that he had in the NBA championship, that dude, that dude surpassed greatness. Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Chris Bosh. Um, he done passed everybody. Okay, Kobe Bryant, he done passed everybody. James Harden, Kevin Durant, I think. And then he played again. And then after years, we don't look at that championship as being a great championship. We just say about it, but we don't actually recognize the value of the championship that he got.
Before that was really a thing. But at this point, Hillary was not happy with the image she developed on Disney. She consistently played the same character, nerdy, unaccepted, and awkward girl trying to figure out her life. Her third album would be released on her 17th birthday, and she had way more involvement on it than the first one. She tried to break the Britney Spears mold that Disney forced kind of on her, and went for a more punk Avril Lavigne type vibe. The album would sell 1.8 million records, so it was very successful. But at this point, she wouldn't work with Disney again on a film or TV show, and she would only focus on her music and release through Hollywood Records. Her next two albums, Most Wanted and Dignity, would go on to have mild success. But in my opinion, Disney tried to manufacture exactly what they missed out on in the 90s. They attempted to recreate Britney Spears. And I know that sounds rough, but Hillary's first album was literally a kid-friendly Britney Spears album. And I think she realized this in 2004 when they tried to negotiate Lizzie McGuire Season 3. She became resentful of the Lizzie brand and fame, and once the turmoil started with Disney, her success as a musical artist fizzled out. But once they received that,
I mean, she made like, she said 1.8 million. That's good.
Scouts at Disney turned up a notch. They weren't going to make the same mistakes they did in 93 and 94 with Britney, Justin, and Christina. And they had the success of Hilary Duff to prove that they were on the right track. Hillary was the blueprint, and she knows this.
If it wasn't for you, there wouldn't be a Miley, a
Exactly.
Demi. Do you ever look at it like that? Like you kind of started what they're doing now?
I do, but I don't sit around and like.
Oh, she got a good
And
voice.
for the next 7 years, they were about to churn out pop star after pop star, and the best artist rollout in history.
Oh, look at this! This guy had the under the giant cut. Oh, hold on now.
Was about to begin. 2006 High School Musical. Zac Efron, Vanessa Hudgens, and Ashley Tisdale are the three newest Disney Channel superstars of 2006, and this movie was huge. Box office numbers were a little low, a measly $4.2 million, but they sold
Yeah, a little low.
$100
It's
in ticket fees.
4.2
You know,
million.
it wasn't like a real go to the theaters movie. Like, they aired it on Disney Channel. The soundtrack will go 4 times platinum in the US and multiple times platinum around the world. As of January 2016, the album has sold 5 million copies in the US alone, making it the best-selling TV soundtrack since Nielsen started keeping data in 1991. It was also the #1 selling album of 2006. You could make an argument that the soundtrack was way more impactful and successful than the movie itself. But Zac Efron obviously didn't pursue a music career. Vanessa Hudgens' first 2 albums wouldn't even go gold, and Ashley Tisdale had a very mild music career herself. But what would be the perfect follow-up to a wildly successful movie about high schoolers that sing? What about a show about a middle schooler who had a secret life as a pop star? I hinted at this before, but you can draw similar.
Okay, story time. So, I remember when I was a kid, and that's the only maybe Disney show that I really watched when I was a kid. Like, you know, maybe grade 3, grade 2, I don't know. That age. I really liked watching this show, and I really liked this girl. Like, I had a what do y'all call it? Crush? Yeah, I like this girl. So, long story short, I was watching this show because I like her, you know. But I wasn't able to say that I like watching the show because, you know, next day when I'm at school with my friends, everybody likes say that what they watch. Oh, I watched I don't know, Power Rangers. I don't know. I'll be saying, yeah, I watched the things that they watch, but I couldn't say I watched this because for like only girls would watch this. But I didn't watch this in our culture, of course, in our culture. I didn't watch this because I enjoyed it. I really just watched it because I was just like having fun watching this girl, you know. I don't know, bro. I don't know if I could explain myself. But yeah, I low key watched it like without nobody knowing that I watched it.
Similarities in the Hannah Montana plot to the Lizzie McGuire movie, which is not a coincidence. They literally took the idea of Lizzie McGuire, combined it with High School Musical, and birthed Hannah Montana. Just 2 months after High School Musical aired, season 1 of Hannah Montana aired. They even used the HSM cast to promote the show.
We're the cast of High School Musical, and we're the cast of Hannah Montana.
Your show's gonna be great.
Your movie was awesome.
Yeah, but yours is gonna be off the hook.
The first season of Hannah Montana was a huge hit. It was the biggest season premiere in Disney Channel history. Midway through season 1 on October 24th, 2006, they released the first official album for Hannah Montana, and it went 3 times platinum in 8 months. Once the first album hit that 3 times platinum milestone, they dropped the second album, and that one would go 3 times platinum.
Bro, the amount of money they're making, man. Disney and this girl, the amount of money they're making. And they're low key, I don't know, bro. She a kid. Look how she dressed up, how she got all makeup. I don't know, man.
6 months. Then a few months after that, they dropped Miley's fourth solo album. That one went platinum in its first month. Also during this time, they signed the Jonas Brothers and introduced Selena Gomez as a rival pop star to Hannah Montana. Wait. I know that all started to hit you very fast. And it hit me fast, too, when I was doing the research. It's like everything is going step by step, cool, and then boom, all this crazy shit is happening at the same time. So let's go exact in chronological order so I can show you how
Wait, they fought together?
accurate and
They fought each other?
and just
I never knew that.
literally perfect the rollout was for all of
I never
these
knew that, to
superstars'
be honest.
careers.
What if I told you that you can use motion array to improve your videos fast? For example,
January 2006,
Appreciate it, brother.
High School Musical, movie soundtrack, album of the year. 2 months later, Hannah Montana starts. October 2006, Hannah Montana first album, 3 times platinum. February 2007, signed the Jonas Brothers to Hollywood Records. This was more of like a traditional record deal, not for like a TV show or a movie yet. April 2006.
To be honest, I never knew the Jonas Brothers. I don't know this dude. I don't know this dude. I only see them in the internet making funny videos. I never knew them. I only know this guy. Let me tell you how. I only know this guy in the middle. Because him married a famous Indian actress, I guess. I think it blew up because it combined between the Western culture and the Indian culture. And it was all over the place, and that's why I knew about this guy. And I didn't even know about the actress, but it was like it was everywhere. So that's how I know about this guy. But I don't know this dude. I don't know this dude. I know whoever.
Montana, June 2007, Hannah Montana album 2, which was combined with Miley's first album. It was like this double-sided disc thing. Like the first half was Hannah, then the next half was Miley, but 3 times platinum. And then at some point while this is happening, they discover Selena Gomez. And 1 month later in July, they give Selena a role on Hannah Montana as a rival pop star. August 7th, 2007, the Jonas Brothers album releases, which would go on to be platinum, but listen to this rollout. 10 days after the album releases, August 17th, High School Musical 2 premieres on the Disney Channel. This premiere was significantly higher than High School Musical 1. The hype was real. 17 million live viewers. The largest premiere in Disney Channel history. The next thing that they aired immediately after the movie on Disney Channel was an episode of Hannah Montana. And who was on that first episode of Hannah Montana? None other than the Jonas Brothers. That was the most viewed episode in Hannah Montana history, which is kind of random because it was just like the 40th episode in a season. But they knew that all of those eyes and ears were going to be on High School Musical 2.
Marketing geniuses, bro.
Show,
Marketing
they
geniuses.
made sure that they got the Jonas Brothers name out there because they just dropped an album like 2 weeks before. Ain't a coincidence, bruh. A few months later,
No, it
7th,
isn't.
2007, Wizards of Waverly Place first episode where Selena
Yeah, do I know these dudes? I know her. I don't know him. I don't know him.
performed the intro song. So now those 3 are doing their thing. 1 year later, June of 2008, Camp Rock soundtrack released, followed by the Camp Rock movie, premieres on Disney Channel to 8.86 million viewers, which had the Jonas Brothers and Demi Lovato.
As I said, I know her because she's the girl that says she's not a woman and not a man, and she identifies as an alien, I guess. Yeah, everybody knows about it because she's crazy. I know about him, as I said, as they told the
So
story.
at this
Yeah.
point, summer of 2008, Miley, Selena, Jonas Brothers, and Demi Lovato are all on the Disney Channel. Miley and Selena are on the TV show side, and the Jonas Brothers and Demi Lovato on the
Yo,
movie
they
side.
got
So
their
now
own
Disney has
mafia, bro. They
introduced
made a
all 4 of their
plug, a
new
mafia
stars.
made a
And from 2008 to
like
2010, the
they
Disney
made a group,
factory
bro.
starts working, churning out album after album and making these artists superstars. 2008, Miley album, platinum. Demi debut album, gold. Jonas Brothers album, platinum. Selena stars in another Cinderella movie, which is
Damn, the amount of money they're making, bro, is insane. Hold on, bro. Do you could you imagine the amount of money that they made? Could our little minds understand the amount of money they made, bro? Just forget about all the other numbers that they made. Just look at this picture right here.
literally the sequel to the
Wow.
Hilary Duff movie. And they used the single from the soundtrack to promote Selena's album the same way that they did for Hillary's first single on the Lizzie McGuire soundtrack. The same exact
Nice.
thing that worked for Hillary 4 years ago, they did it again with the same movie. 2009, Demi gets their own show called Sunny with a Chance. Jonas Brothers get their own show called Jonas. So now all 4 stars have their own show on the Disney Channel where they also perform the intros.
They're running it up.
Selena and Demi also get a movie together called The Princess Protection Program, which was wildly successful. So you see, this is another time where they used 2 stars or different stars of different shows to help promote a new one. Because Demi is
They
still
keep like doing this Avengers shit where like Guardians of the Galaxy pop up with the Marvels, and the Marvels Thor goes with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and the whole worlds just collapse together, bro.
relatively new. to
Everybody
the Disney
collabs with
scene
each other.
compared to the other 3. They also used this movie to promote Demi's album, Here We Go Again, which went gold. Wizards of Waverly
I think where this girl started going crazy. I think because her face looks grown, and I think the moment she was grown, the moment she started to become
Place
crazy.
soundtrack drops, double platinum. Miley Cyrus releases Party in the USA.
Yep, and I think her too. This time she became crazy too, cause she's both of these women, they're wild.
Diamond, 10 times platinum. Still her biggest song to date, actually. Wizards movie drops, second highest viewership of all time, which kind of certified that Selena was maybe even bigger than Miley on Disney at the time. And again, I had to summarize all of that heavily. Like, there were tons of little details, but those were just the big things. But Disney laid the foundation for all of this. Cast a star for a TV show or a movie, release the soundtrack with a song performed by them, then use other popular shows and movies to cross-promote, drop an album, give them their own TV show or movie depending on which one they started with, rinse and repeat year after year, making millions and billions of dollars.
Billions,
And you're
bro.
forgetting my original
Billions.
point that this is all part of a massive manufactured plan. This is not just simply off talent or the skills of these child stars. They were
Yeah.
a piece of a massive system that was generating billions from them. It was a literal factory, and it was all falling into place.
And when you see how much money they're making, you find them maybe making 10 milli, 10 milli, 10 milli, 10 milli, 10 milli, 10 milli, maybe 20 on these 2. And that's it. All the other pocket change is going for their pockets.
perfectly in 2009. And you see how they went step by step from 2001, just gradually getting better and better at it,
Yeah.
until in 2009 it was all just working all at the same time, and everybody was peaking, and Disney's making billions of dollars. But just as everything was working perfectly in 2009, 2010 was when it came to a screeching halt. The
2010, when everybody became crazy. Miley Cyrus hit rock bottom. She became crazy. Say with Demi, Jonas, I don't know what happened to him. Same with
end
Selena.
of an era was on its way. Jonas and Sunny with a Chance both released their second seasons, but ratings were already low for both of the shows. Miley releases her album Can't Be Tamed,
The moment she started showing skin, yeah,
which was her
she was
worst performing
donezo.
album. And if you think about the title, it kind of says a lot. Miley was expressing her inability to love the Hannah Montana show anymore. She was growing out of the tween era and into a young woman. We even got a famous quote from Miley in 2019. The minute I had sex, I was kind of like, I can't put this fucking wig on again. It got weird. So basically, she's dressing, acting, and performing on stage in a very grown-up manner. Was even caught on Instagram smoking salvia out of a bong, all while
Yeah, this is time we got the news as a third world country. We got the news that this woman started being crazy, and nobody, Disney won't get her back again.
Montana season 4 was airing, and 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds around the world are looking up to her on the show and then seeing how she performs live and in person and just being really confused. And obviously, parents didn't like that. So the show kind of crashed and burned, and album sales plummeted, and Miley wanted to move on. Selena had a good year though. She put out her second studio album, which went gold, and had a 2x platinum single and another 1x platinum single, and Wizards of Waverly Place was still performing great. 2011, Jonas Brothers are officially on a hiatus, Hannah Montana is officially over, and Sunny with a Chance was officially over. So Selena is all up to you, baby. Wizards was in its last season, but again, Selena had a great year. She released a gold album and would have 3 singles get a combined total of 8x platinum. Who Says, Love You Like a Love Song, and Hit the Lights were all crazy successful, which is kind of wild how Selena's most successful year was when the Jonas Brothers and Miley Cyrus were gone, and Demi Lovato was
Of course,
playing
like all the spotlight is now on her. There nobody without her, so everybody's looking at her.
background.
You know?
Just goes to show you how powerful it can be when you have the entire Disney machine
Yeah, true.
focusing on
True,
one
true,
thing.
true.
But once 2000,
And that also might went to her advantage, because if they would have stayed, she maybe would have been like she would have been like an okay artist, you know. She wouldn't have flourished to the degree that she's at now.
hit, the
My opinion,
true
of course,
end of
I
it
don't
all
know.
happened, at least in terms of the shows, and really the general hype of Disney. Instagram and Vine were just about to be the biggest things in young kids' lives, and all their stars were just not children anymore. From 2012 to 2019, they didn't break anyone the size of
Vine,
Selena
bro.
or Miley, at least
The
not on
good
the
old
Disney channel.
time.
And there are some honorable mentions that came from Disney that had some hot moments, Zendaya being one of the biggest, but she's basically only pursuing acting despite having some music success. Let's be honest, nothing to the scale of Selena and Miley. Demi and Selena are still releasing under Hollywood records for a few years beyond that, though. And Demi actually saw most of their success way after their time on TV. From 2013 to 2017, Lovato would release albums and singles totaling 25x platinum, which brings us back today to Olivia
That's a
Rodrigo.
lot.
She had a role in Bizaardvark with Jake Paul. Show was trash. I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
I
don't know.
Adult.
I've
at
never
that
heard about
point. But her more significant role and bigger fame came with the Disney Plus show, being the star of High School Musical, the show. Trash ass name. But she wrote 2 songs,
Never heard
All I
about it.
Want and Just for a Moment, on the soundtrack, which were very successful songs. I mean, nothing to the level of the
Can I say it
original High
again?
School Musicals,
I've
but
never heard about
who
them.
doesn't love a good reboot? And then she would go on to sign with Interscope Records and work on her debut album Sour, which broke numerous records. So Olivia never released any music with Hollywood Records. No solo songs, no albums, no nothing, aside from the songs that were in the High School Musical show. And after all the research I did, after everything I've laid out in front of y'all, it raises so many questions. And I have a few speculations. Maybe Disney has just recently figured out how to adapt to the new TV climate with Disney Plus. Because we all know people ain't watching cable, and they haven't been for the past few years. They don't know how to adapt to this new music climate because the only way they had successful record sales was by dropping albums the same day that they premiered a movie or a TV show that had the art.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna wrap this video up right now. I think it's the dawn of the self-promoting artists. Yeah, you heard me. Like, you can see it in rap music, bro. Like Nipsey, like all the new artists, bro. Nobody's dependent on nobody no more because they found the tricks about the new way of promoting yourself. You know. So yeah, I don't think Disney would have been like the Disney that was in the early 2000s. Yeah, bro, that's the video. Yep.